But before we get started, just a quick disclosure that everything we review today is strictly for educational purposes and not investment or financial advice. We're not giving any recommendations on any trades, just simply going over how to familiarize with the platform. And just some quick housekeeping rules. If you have any questions throughout the session, feel free to ask, but if you can direct them in the Q&A section. Since we have such a large turnout today, I want to make sure your questions get answered and just not get lost in the chat. But if you do have any account-specific questions, just please email us instead to our support team. That's support@tastytrade.com. But again, feel free to ask any questions in the Q&A, and this will be recorded. So if you need to reference any part of this demo later on, it's going to be posted to our YouTube channel. And we'll post a link to our YouTube channel in the chat as well, okay? But if you can see my screen, this is the desktop platform, and I want to start off by showing how fast the platform will allow you to place a trade. At Tasty, we're well known for our options trading, and the platform's layout is going to make this order routing process very quick and easy. But at the moment, the equity market is closed, but we can certainly still trade options on futures. So for this example, let's go ahead and switch to a futures product. What we're going to do first is replace the ticker symbol at the top here. If you left click on the current active symbol and type in /ES on your keyboard and then hit enter, this will bring up the current active symbol to the futures. And then make sure that you click on trade, which is right here, to make sure that you can see the current options chain. Let me go ahead and clear out these drawings. If you don't see the options chain for any reason, just make sure that your trade mode is on table, which you can find right here. So if it's your first time launching it up, it might be on curve. Just switch it to table and you'll be able to see the options chain for ES. Now, if for any reason, if you don't know the ticker symbol, you can type in the company's name. For example, if I type in Tesla, TSLA, you'll see TSLA populate at the bottom here, okay? And also, if you already have a watch list created, you can simply left click on the symbol on the watch list, and this will change it to the current active symbol as well, right here, okay? And we'll drop a link in the chat for anyone who hasn't created watch list already. For now, I'm just gonna stay on the ES so we can access this options chain. Well, let's go ahead and route an order. I'm gonna select the October 17 expirations right here. And let's just buy a basic long call, just so you can see how it's done. So let's select the 4430s. And since we're buying a call, we're going to select the premium under the ask. And then you're immediately going to notice the order ticket at the bottom here. So in the bottom left, you're going to see the contract details that we just selected. We have one October 17th, 1 day to expiration, 4430 call, buy to open. And in the center panel, you can see that you can adjust the limit price. And you can do this by clicking on the arrows up or down, or you can manually type in what price you're trying to get this for. So at the moment, I'm going to try and get this for a bargain. I'm going to replace the order to maybe 4.30. We're going to click review and send. This is our second opportunity to make sure this is the order that we want to place, the correct account, commissions, fees, and then just hit send order once we confirm that is correct. So right now you can see the order is working, and we can see this in the activity panel right here. If for any reason your right side panel is not popped out right here, what you can do is, let me clear out these drawings. You can pop out the window by clicking on this little arrow right here inside of the square. So that'll bring it back out. And if you want to lock it in place, you can click on this little small arrow here, and this will make sure that this right side panel doesn't collapse. And this will make sure that you can trade everything all in one screen. You don't have to flip-flop back and forth. But if you want to go back in between your panels, you can also click on activity here. So there's multiple places to see where your transactions are. Let me get rid of these. Now, if I want to be more aggressive with my entry for this contract or change it to market, all we need to do is right click on the working order and select replace order. So this brings back that order ticket. I can raise my limit order. I can even select limit, this menu here, and switch it to market if I just want to get in very quickly if the market is moving very fast, okay? Well, let's go ahead and get this order filled. I'm going to click review and send the order. We get a nice little ring and notification that it's been filled, and we can confirm this in our activity again right here. Looks like we got filled for 4.5 right there. Now, once we have filled the position, we're going to go back to our positions tab So above the word trade, you're going to see where it says positions here. And if we left click on positions, we're going to locate that futures contract. And there it is at the top, /ES. If I left click to expand it, we'll see that contract we just bought, that same 4430 call. To close the trade, all we need to do is right click on the contract, select close position. This brings us back to the order ticket. And then we can, again, select what limit price we want to sell it at. So right now it looks like it's at 430. Let's go ahead and get this filled. It's still working. Let's try to get out of this trade. There we go. Filled at 430. There it is. So I hope everyone was able to follow along to see how fast it is to get the order in, replace it if it's not immediately executed, and how quickly we can close out a trade. And if anyone was curious, again, we don't offer any paper trading accounts. This was not simulated. This was a real trade that just got executed. Okay. Now, I'm sure many of you are more advanced traders and would like to see how to put on the spread. So let's go back to the options chain here. Again, make sure that you're on table mode so you can see all the strike prices and the expirations here. But previously, when we bought a long call, we selected the premium under the ask column because we buy the ask and sell the bid. So let's just set up a bull vertical call spread. Again, we're going to left click on the premium under the ask for the long call. And for the short leg, this time, okay. So to set up the vertical call spread, again, we left click on the premium under the ask and then left click on the premium under the bid. You lost my audio. Can you hear me? Let's see. Okay. Thank you for confirming. Cool, cool. Okay. So I have the call spread set up here. If you look in the bottom left, this time it looks slightly different. We have two contracts now. We have the 4430 calls buy to open, and then also the 4440s calls sell to open, and then the limit order in the middle there. We can make adjustments to the strikes with quantity and expirations here. So if I click on the up and down arrows underneath the word strikes, let me just make sure you guys can see this right here, here, and here. So if I left click on the strikes up or down, you can see the strikes move accordingly on the options chain. And then I can make the spread more wide or more narrow, whether I want it to be a 5-point wide, 10-point wide, 15-point wide spread. And then I can change it from a 1 lot to a 2 lot by clicking on the arrows right here. So as I'm clicking on the quantity, you'll see the contract details in the bottom left adjust accordingly. Now, if I just want to change it for, let's say you want 50 contracts, right? You probably don't want to click this 50 times. You can actually manually highlight the number in the box here, type in 50, hit enter on your keyboard, and you'll see both of these turn to a 50 lot. But let's go ahead and go all the way back down to 1, like that. Now we can also manually adjust the width of the spread directly on the options chain. So instead of using the buttons, I can left click, hold, and drag the strikes up or down, and you'll see it become more wide or more narrow, like that. Okay. Or if you don't have the right strikes, you can also click on the red eraser down here. This will clear out the order ticket, and then we can manually readjust and select the legs that we actually want. So I want the 4430s to go long, and I want to sell the 4440s against it. Let me clear out that arrow. Now, for anyone that wants a visual representation of the profit, loss, and break-even zones for your spread, after you selected the legs, you probably see this red and green bars down here. This will show your profit and loss zones, or you can click on analysis in the top left. And this will take us to curve mode. And then you will also see a visual representation of the profit and loss zones here. We actually have a great video in our help center that would go into more details regarding analysis mode. And I'm sure someone on our team can drop a link in the chat to see how to get to analysis mode and more details about it. But if you want to, you can also click on this little arrow, the little question mark icon. This will bring up our help center where you can type in any keyword. So in this example, what we're going to do is type in analysis mode. Whoops, let me get rid of that arrow. Analysis. And then you'll see the search results. Once you click on analysis mode, we have a YouTube video that will break this down into big details, okay? But in general, if you have any questions or looking for a specific feature in the platform, just type in a keyword in the search results here, and then we should have an article that explains it in detail, okay? But let's go back to the platform. Let's go back to table mode. And at the moment, we just have a standard call spread up, but our order ticket can support up to 4 legs. So if you want to trade butterflies, iron condors, you can certainly add the contracts accordingly, or you can use the little strategy mode button up here. If you click on this dropdown, that's a little arrow, it will show you all the different strategies that it will set up for you. So you can toggle between whether it's short or long. If it shows a call, you can turn it to a put. And then once you have the correct strategy that you want, just click on go, and then this will bring the correct strategy in place. So if I click on Iron Condor and hit go, and then if you notice at the bottom, the order ticket, it now sets up an Iron Condor for us. And then you can make the necessary adjustments if you want directly on the options chain or using the buttons below in the order ticket, okay? Let's go ahead and clear that out. Now, let's continue with the bull call spread example. Let me bring those strikes back up. 44.30s, 44.40s. I see someone was asking for a ratio spread. So if you want to create a ratio spread, let's say maybe you want to buy 2 calls and selling 1, all you have to do is simply left click on the one that you want to bring to 2 contracts. So let's say I double click on the 44.30s. I'm going to change the quantity to 2. And now you'll see that you have 2 44.30s and selling only 1 44.40 against it. So you can do 2 to 1. You change it one more time. You can also do a 3 to 1 like that. Okay, but let's go ahead and route this order and see if we can get filled. Right now, it looks like the price is at 1.9. Let's be slightly more aggressive with it. There we go. So we got filled at 205. Again, we can confirm this in our activity panel right here. You can see that we got filled. We put a limit price of 210, but got filled slightly better at 205. Now, to view this position, we're going to go back to our positions tab. And now you should see the ES symbol. It has the 2 legs that we just created right here, 44.30s, 44.40, right there. To close out a spread, it's very easy. All you have to do is left click on both of the legs. And once they're both highlighted, same thing, you right click, select close position. And if you notice on this menu, it will allow you to close position, close at a profit, or you can roll it out. Just right now, we're just going to close the position. So let's see where we can get filled at. So this takes us back to the order ticket. Let's see what we can get. Might have to bring it down here. Send the order. Okay. So we open at 205, close it for a loss at 1.85 right there. And again, you can confirm all of this in the activity panel. Okay. Okay. And since I just quickly mentioned on how to roll options and option spreads, I want to introduce everyone to a unique feature on the tastytrade platform, and it's called order chains. So if you want to follow along, just left click on this little icon right here on the right side panel. This will take you to our order chains menu. Let me change this to Amazon just for this example. So order chains will track your equity options positions from when you initially open them, make any rolls to when you close it. And this is really nice because unless you're keeping some sort of journal or spreadsheet, it might be difficult to determine how much you're up or down since the position was initially established. So with the order chains futures, you don't even have to do that because the platform will automatically keep track of this for you. So in this example, if you take a look at what we did on Amazon, we opened it for a debit of 1.69, the 145, 150 calls for October 20th. We then rolled it out to November 17th, and we paid another 45 cents for this. Now later, we closed it out for a credit of 2.28. So we opened the position, rolled it to November 17th, then closed it out. And order chains kept track of all of this progress for us, and it shows us the total P&L right here. Let me make sure I have my arrow right here. So in addition, we also go to our positions tab. As long as you're grouping your positions by order chains, it will keep track of everything for you with the rolls, and it'll also group your positions by strategy. So just an example, if I expand this PEP position, PayPal, you will see that all of these is a custom spread with a roll. PayPal is a strangle, so it will make sure everything is nice and easy for it. Yeah, at this moment, we don't have it for futures yet. It's something we're working on. At this moment, it's only for equity options. So we're hoping that's will change soon, okay? So we'll post a link to the order chains in the chat, but same thing, if you bring back up the help center, whoops. If we open up the help center by clicking on the question mark icon and we type in order chains, there should be a detailed article here that will break down how exactly to use this. It's also available on the mobile platform as well. Let's go ahead and get rid of that. Now, next, I want to review some of the items you may have saw on the options chain that will help you make a more informed decision if you're trying to get into a trade. So let's take a look here. In the center panel, you're going to have the days to expiration for a specific options chain. So right here, get the arrow. This will show you how many days to expirations for that specific contract. Now, if I change it to something like a 0 days, let's say SPX, anyone trading 0 DTEs is going to clearly show 0 days to expiration, and you can certainly trade 0 DTEs. And it looks like we're also about to be headed into earnings season. So let me change it to maybe Tesla again. So anytime upcoming earnings, you're going to see this little vertical line or horizontal line in purple that says E. That represents that upcoming earnings are about to be reported. And then you also see on the right side, it might be kind of small for you, but it shows when the earnings is supposed to be released, and then a little bell icon. And there's a little arrow to the right of the bell that just represents that it's going to be reporting post-market. If it's to the left, it's going to be reporting in the pre-market right there. We also have this little research tab. If you click on the icon below position trading activity, the very first icon is going to take you to the research tab. Let me clear out this drawing. So this will show you any news for the earnings. We have financials for the companies, certain ratios you can look at, analyst forecasts, strong buy, hold, sell, and also just general news or general information about the company itself. And then if I click on options right here, it will just take us back to the options chain for Tesla. Let me clear this out. Now, you may also notice on the right side here that we have some expected moves and IV. So this is really helpful, especially if we have upcoming earnings. You can see how the IV for Tesla is kind of juiced up. And then the expected move is to the right, where they expected to move about $14 from the last price. Let me clear this out. And then another visual aid we have, if you expand the options chain, you're going to see these horizontal blue lines. Let me make sure I mark them so you can clearly see them here and here. So these represents how far out the money the strikes are, whether it's between the first or second standard deviation. So of course, the first one is going to be 1 standard deviation out. If I were to scroll down on the options chain, whoops, you'll see a second line. So this is 2 standard deviations out. And then again, the first one is the 1 standard deviation. And then we also have these column headers at the top right here. Right now, I have it on option, open interest and volume. If you see this little dot to the left of this, or the circle, it represents that these columns can be customized. So if I left click here, you can change it to any Greeks that you're looking for. So maybe you want it to be delta. You want to see the delta. This might help you with your contract selection. And then the other one, you can change it to anything else that you're looking for. Now, depending on your screen real estate, or if you make the platform more wide or full screen, you're going to have more customizable columns. So once you drag it out, make it wider or make it full screen, more columns may appear for you, okay? But now that we covered how to place options trades, I want to show you how to quickly route order for stocks. So once you have a ticker symbol pulled up, or if it's on your watch list, in this example, I'm going to do Ford. I'm going to type in F and hit enter. Now, again, you can either have this on the watch list, or you can manually type it at the top, and you're going to see the bid and the ask at the top here, like that. And remember, we buy at the ask and sell at the bid. So if I wanted to buy shares of Ford, I'm going to left click on the quote I see under the ask. So if I click on the 11.93, you'll see the order ticket pop up. But notice how this time is a little bit different. Instead of contract details, it now says the orders for Ford stock, and we are buying it represented in green. The same thing, we can adjust the quantity. and the limit price in the middle. So maybe I want to change it from 1 share to 100. And then the limit price, let's try to also get this for a bargain for 11.8. If I wanted to get in a market, again, under order type, just route it as so. And since we're in the extended hours, the TIF to the right here represents time in force. Right now it's on a day order, so we won't get filled if we route it as a day order. But if I change it to EXT for extended hours, we can route this order accordingly. So again, once we click review and send, this is our opportunity to double check this is the correct order we want to route. So we are buying to open 100 shares of Ford stock. Let's go ahead and send the order. And if we want to check on the order status, click on activity, we will see it currently working, represented by that W yellow ribbon right there. Now, one more thing that you can do is you want to go to the charts. If anyone trade on the charts, you can access this little chart icon below positions trading activity. Let me clear out these drawings. And you can see this is the working order that we have on Ford. We're trying to buy it at 11.8. If I were to drag this working order up or down, it's going to automatically reroute this order. So let's say I bring this up slightly to right here. And you can see that the order just got updated and it immediately got filled. So it looks like we got filled at 11.93. And we can see that also in the activity tab. Another way to trade stocks or futures while you're looking at charts is in grid mode. So if I go back to the trade tab and change it from table mode to grid, let me change the ticker symbol to Ford as well. You'll be able to see that we have a chart of Ford. We can make our order entries at the bottom. So I can update the quantity and how many I want to buy. If the same thing, I want to buy 100 shares, I can change it from limit to market and then trade directly from the charts here as well. But if anyone is trading on multiple monitors, you can also use a feature on the platform called Tasty Charts. And this icon is located directly below where we clicked on charts earlier, but it's the 4 squares here. And once you left click on the Tasty Charts icon, it'll take you to this screen. Let me go ahead and collapse this right side menu so you can clearly see this. And you're also going to find a little arrow at the top here. This just represents that you can pop out the Tasty Charts to another monitor. So maybe if you have a secondary screen, you drag the charts to one side, and then you're executing your trades on the main monitor. So depending on your chart real estate, you can also make adjustments to how many charts you want to see. So right now it's a 2x1. You can make it a 2x2 so you can see multiple time frames, or maybe just looking at different underlyings at the same time. I would pop it out right now, but I just don't want to mess it up. Sometimes Zoom can be kind of laggy if I start popping out a whole bunch of windows. But now that the stock order has been filled, the shares are now in the positions tab. So let's go back to positions. Let me collapse this and just find Ford. Now, if you have a lot of positions on like we do here, sometimes these filters will come into great use. So if I turn off options, turn off futures, now you'll see that all I have here is Ford. I can focus on just the shares that I bought here, okay? But if you think that you're missing any positions, again, just make sure that your position filters are on correctly. Right now, I just want to focus on the 4 shares that we just bought. The same thing, if I want to close out of these shares, all I have to do is right-click on the shares. You'll see close position. But before we actually close out a position, I just want to show you some risk management tools that we have on the platform. So we have very basic stop losses right here. If you're looking to do a stop market or stop limit order, you can certainly select those accordingly. But we also have OCO orders. So where one cancels the others at Tasty is called a bracket. So you'll find that right here. Let me get rid of this arrow real quick. Whoops. If I clear this out, we're going to go back to positions. If I right click on the shares, you'll see bracket. And this brings up our little bracket order menu. This will allow you to set a profit target and also a stop loss at the same time. And it's going to route both of these orders simultaneously into the market. So it can be pretty useful for anyone who's working full time. You don't have the ability to sit in front of the computer all day or actively manage your trades. You can select the bracket order, set these orders, set it, forget it, and then manage it accordingly. Okay. But for now, let's go ahead and close out the 4 shares. Let's hit close position. And then we do have to route it as an extended hours trade. Let's see where we can get filled. There you go, filled at 11.94. So I want to show you how you can reconcile your profit and loss for your trades. You can certainly look at activity and have a good idea of what it is, but if you're trading a lot, you don't want to pull out a calculator. The best way to do this is going to your history tab. And this is located below the positions, trade, and activity panels. The icon looks like a little arrow going around a clock in a circle. This will take us to the history tab. So you can see the 4 shares here that we just bought. Whoops, I only closed out 1 share. Let me close out all 99 of them, actually. Let's adjust the quantity to 99. So I didn't want to press that arrows 99 times. What I did was I manually type in 99, hit enter on my keyboard, and now let's try to close this out. Let's make sure. That looks like it was a day order. Let's change it to extended hours so we can actually get filled. There we go, filled. So let's go back to the history tab on this icon here. And you can see those transactions we just did. There's some filters at the top here because we traded futures earlier as well. But if we just type in Ford here, we'll see that it'll filter just for Ford. And one cool thing about the history tab is it'll let you left click on the transactions that you did, and it will automatically calculate the P&L for you. So earlier we bought 100 shares. So that costs $11.93. And then we later closed out 100 shares. I actually did this in 2 separate orders, so I have to left click on both of those transactions. And you can see that the total P&L there was $1. But I also paid almost 20 cents in fees to get the order routed, okay? If we go back and remove these drawings and filter for ES, whoops. Let's see what we did for the ES earlier. So we bought the 44.30 calls first, and then we sold it. Looks like that was a $10 loss. We also paid $2.50 in commissions and paid $1.74 in fees. So that was the first trade I did. And later we also did the 44.30s and 44.40 spread. So we opened it and then closed it. Looks like we lost $10, paid $5 in commissions, and paid $3.48 in fees. In total for ES today, looks like we lost $20, like that. Now, one cool thing about the history tab is you can click on year to date right here. And once you click on year to date, it'll break down your performance by ticker symbol. So you can kind of see which symbol you're doing really great in, which one you're not doing too hot. Maybe you want to stay away from that symbol. And it'll also show you all the commissions and fees you paid so far, and the P&L, including the fees and commissions as well, right here. And if you want to export this to a spreadsheet, just so you can have a deeper analysis, you can click on the CSV button here. You can export your trades, transactions, your history tab, and then reconcile on Excel or Google Sheet. Let me go ahead and get rid of these. Okay. But I hope this is not so overwhelming so far or information overload. I just want to take a quick break to review any questions you may have or certain futures that we haven't covered yet. Yes, this will be recorded. It will be posted to our YouTube channel in a couple of days after we make the video for you. How to set stop loss for options. Okay, I can certainly show you how to do that. So if we go back to our positions tab, we got to turn the options filter back on so we can see all the options we have in this account. Let's say we want to do it on PayPal, for example. So if you want to set a stop loss for any options, you have to select both of the legs, go to close position, and then above the review and send button, you're going to see the order type. So you got to change this from a net debit to a stop limit. And once you have that stop limit in place, you'll see the middle panel where you have a trigger price where you want the stop to trigger. And once that stop triggers, where do you want to fill it out as? Right there. So that's the first way where you can do it. The next way you can do it is by doing a bracket order. So let me clear out this order ticket. We're going to go back to our positions tab. Same thing on PayPal. Select both the legs, right click, go to bracket. And you can also do an OCO order for any options as well. So you can set a stop loss, set a profit target, send both of those trades into the market. Okay. Let's clear that out. Can you set a stop limit on the short leg only? Yes, you can certainly do so. So let's say, let me find another example in this account. Let's say it's on PEP. I can just select that single leg, right click, close the position, whether I want to do just one contract or the full 2 contracts. Above order type again, if I select the order type menu and select stop limit, you'll be able to adjust the stop order, or you can change it to stop market as well, whichever one you're looking for. At the moment, we don't have trailing stops. So we do have for spreads, we have stop limits. For single legs, we have stop market as well. Henry, for futures trades, you can certainly bracket it on the order entry as well. So you can do it before the order is placed, or you can do it after the position is established. So for example, if I go to /ES, and let's say we were trading outright futures, all you have to do is click on the ask. So the left click on the ask is going to bring up our order ticket. And now you should see a bracket button right here as well. So we haven't entered a trade yet, but it still gives us the option to open up a OCO order. So you can set where you want to enter the order at a limit price. You can set the close at a profit and the stop loss order all at the same time. Let's see. Do OCO orders expire? It depends. So by default, it's probably going to be on a day order. But if you see this little time enforce menu right here, you can change it from a day order to good till cancel. So now it will remain active until you actually go into your activity, right click, and cancel the order there. Let's see, what other questions do you guys have? Or any specific trades that you would like to see? Year to date with a custom range. Can you show how to set price alerts? Yeah, absolutely. So you want to make sure that you have the right side panel up. And then if you see this little bell icon, this allows you to set alerts on the underlying. So for example, let's say it's on ES, you can set different thresholds of where you want the alert to trigger. So maybe if you're bullish and you want to get in once ES crosses 44.10, you can certainly do so and hit create alert. And you can set multiple alerts on the same underlying as well. So maybe you don't want to miss on a trade, set multiple alerts. You get the notification on the platform. And as long as you have push notifications on your phone, you should get it on your phone as well. A butterfly trade? Yeah, I can show you how to do that too. So let me clear out these drawings. So there's a couple ways to do a butterfly. You can go to the options chain itself and then manually select the legs that you want for that butterfly. Or you can go to the strategy button here, click on this little drop-down arrow, and you should see butterfly towards the center here. And if you want to do a short butterfly, just toggle the long to short. Instead of a call, you want to do put, just change it to put. But in this example, let's just say we're doing a long call butterfly, hit go. This will queue up. Whoops, that was a put. Let me change it back to call. There you go. So this will automatically queue up an order for a butterfly for you. And then you can make the adjustments on whichever strikes you want. So you can move it up or down directly on the options chain by left clicking, holding, and dragging. Or you can use these arrows at the bottom here to make the spread more wide, how many contracts you want, adjust the strikes, move the expirations up or down as well. For a calendar spread, yep, I can show you that too. Let me clear this out. Whoops. Let's go back to the drop-down menu. We should have one for calendar right here. So let's say we're doing a long call calendar, just hit go. And then you'll see that it sets it up for us with 2 different expirations. So the order tick at the bottom, it now shows you that we are selling the 44.20 calls and buying the November 16 44.20 call. Let's see. There's one more thing on the option on the order ticket that you may find useful here. So let me clear this out. Let's just say we're buying that 44.30 call on ES for October 17th. So you're going to notice some details right here where it shows you the probability of profit. It shows you how much extrinsic value is left on there. some Greeks. So you have delta, theta. You also have the max profit. It shows infinity because it's a long call. We have no idea how high ES is going to go. The max loss right here. And then it should also show you the buying power effect as well to show you how much capital it's going to take. So let me use another example. Let's say we're doing it on Tesla. Let's buy an earnings related contract. We're going to maybe buy this 260 call by clicking on the ask. And you should see probability of profit, extrinsic value, max loss, and it should be showing you the buying power effect in the right corner there. Whoops. But let me go ahead and clear out this order ticket. Can you adjust the limit price on a chart? You can certainly do so for any stocks or futures. Like I showed you earlier, you just drag that working order up or down. Once you route a working order, it'll be on the chart and you just move it up or down. But you can't do so for options yet. It's just for stocks and futures. Can you explain a few charting tools? Well, we actually have a charting demo next week. So if anybody wants to register, that is next week. We're doing a charting demo that goes over all the indicators we have, the tools and how to use it properly. But just for a quick overview, if you go to the charts, you're going to see all these items at the top. If you click on indicators, it'll expand the indicators library. You can switch the time frame, whether it's a 1 day, 1 year chart, or if you're day trading, you can switch it to an intraday time frame. And you can change the candles from basic candles to Heikin-Nashi candles, a line chart, whichever you like. And then as far as tools, we have trend lines, price levels. If you're doing Fibonacci extensions or retracements, we certainly have that as well. So just take a look. Let's see. Conditional orders, we don't have any conditional orders yet. So you can do let me clear this out. So if you're asking for based on the stock price, if it will trigger an option order, not yet. We don't have those conditional orders yet. If we can customize the top headers, yeah, absolutely. So if you click on this little icon next to accounts, there's a little arrow. It will show you some figures at the top. So we have some P&L figures. So you can show how much you made today, how much you're up or down for this year. It will show you the option and stock buying power. It also shows you how many trades we've done and also a day trade counter. And then you can see we have delta, theta, extrinsic value at the top. But if we want to customize this, we can go into our settings, because depending on what you see, you might not want to see all those Greeks. To get to the settings, there's various gear icons on the platform. You can go here, here, or here. Any one of these gear icons will expand your settings menu. And then what we want to do is make sure that under modules, you're under accounts, and then under settings, you're under header detail. So this is what we currently have for our headers. We have today's trades, a day trade counter. But if you want to show your P&L with, let me drag this to the top. If you want to see your P&L with commissions and fees, if you want to see gamma, buying power usage, buying power percentage, let's remove some of these Greeks just so it's nice and clean. And hit OK. You can see everything adjusts accordingly. So now you can see your P&L with any commissions and fees included, gamma, buying power usage, how much buying power you're using up. Let me go ahead and remove these just so it's nice and clean. Whoops. And hit OK. Let's see. Is it possible to see your P&L for 2022? Yes. So again, the best place to reconcile your P&L is in the history tab. So if you click on this little history icon, and then you want to go back to transactions. And if you see, there's some filters at the top here. You can filter by symbol, and you can also do a date filter as well. So if I go to, let me remove ES here. If I hit this drop-down menu under date filter, I can do custom. And if I only want to do 2022, I can click on the start date, change it to 2022, maybe start back in January 1st. And the end date will be December of 2022. And then you can export your transactions in a CSV file and then look at your P&L that way as well. Let's see. Billy Bob, if you see dashboard trading and manage, that means that you're looking at the web browser version. You're probably on my.tastytrade.com. So if you want to download the platform, just go directly to our website and then click on our technology, and then you'll be able to download and install the platform just so you have the correct version. How can you hide your account numbers and net liquid? Yeah, so if you're working and you don't someone hovering over your shoulders looking at what all your P&L numbers are, or maybe you're running some sort of chat room and you want to keep it very private, just go back to your settings. So again, any one of these gear icons will get you to your settings. Go to accounts and ensure that you're on privacy mode. Just keep this checked. And then it will show your account numbers. It won't show you your balances, anything like that. And then hit OK. Let's see. Is there a way to lock the current tool you're using so you don't have to keep selecting it? Yes, so you must be talking about on the charts when you're drawing price lines or if you're drawing a trend line. So let's go back to the charts by this icon. Let's open up the charts. Let's go into the chart settings, which will be right here. Let's expand the chart settings. And then it should be, make sure I'm not using the arrows anymore. So once you're in the chart settings, make sure that you click on chart. That just disappeared for me right here. And then the very last setting here will say keep drawing tool active. As long as you have this checked, it will keep that drawing tool active for you. Let me clear out all these drawings. Yeah, we don't have paper trading yet. So everything that we did today was a real trade, but we have a lot of resources in our help center that will help you familiarize with the platform. So if you go to the help center again, let me pull this up. You can also review this video once it's posted to YouTube, but if you type in desktop platform overview, the very first search results will say video and live demo. So although we don't have paper trading accounts, we have a lot of resources here that will just show you how to enter a trade, navigate the platform, just to get familiar with it before you fire off your first trade. Is there a watch list for earnings for the day or the week? So we do have some preset watch lists here. If you look at the watch list icon here, there's a little drop-down menu. You can change it to earnings. And then we have all earnings or tasty earnings, and you can see different companies that are about to report their earnings. How do you set moving averages? So again, we're going to do a charting demo next week, but I'll go ahead and show you very quickly how to do that. Just open up your indicators library. And then let's say, depending on if it's exponential or a simple moving average, you can type it in accordingly. So maybe it's a SMA, simple moving average. You might want to add a couple so you have fast and a slow. So once you select the SMA, hit add selected at the bottom. So now I have a couple moving averages there. And maybe you want one to be a fast and one to be a slow one. So you have a mean reversion play. So this one, maybe we want a 8-day moving average. And let's give it different colors too, so we can distinguish between the two. So 8 days, let's make sure it's blue. And then maybe the longer one, we want it to be 21. So same thing here. If you want like a 200-day moving average, you probably don't want to click that arrow 100 times. Just type in 200. But this one, let's maybe do 21. Let's change the style to red. Let's make the thickness to 3. So now you have a couple moving averages on your charts. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Let's see. One more thing I want to show you guys is if you go to the trade mode here, we have a different other trade modes that we didn't go into deep details in. One of them is the active trader. So if you click on active, you're going to see this little ladder to the right side. And then you also see bid and ask here. You want to make sure the safety is on if this is your first time looking at it, but this will be very useful if you have a chart on one screen and then you have the active trader here. As soon as you turn the safety off and then you click on buy or sell, it's going to immediately route that order to the market. And then you can, if it's a working order, you can just drag it up or down on this arrow or up or down on this ladder, and it'll route the order accordingly. So active trader is really, for anyone who's advanced and you're actually day trading or so, this will be really useful for you. So if you go to trade, under trade mode, go to active, it will get you to this screen here. Let's see. Open. Douglas, P&L open just means how much you're up or down since that position was established. So if you have P&L open on, let's say I have it right here as well, actually. Let's go back to positions. Let's go to settings. Let's add PL open. So PL open will show you how much you're up or down since that position was established. So right there, PL open. Does active trader do options? So active trader is only going to be for stocks or futures at the moment. Can we trade crypto on the trade tab? Yeah, absolutely. So you probably saw the icon for crypto. Once you left click on crypto, you'll see, let me change this to Bitcoin. Yep, it's already on Bitcoin. We have Bitcoin available, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, Litecoin, Polkadot, Dogecoin, Cardano, and Solana. As long as you enable crypto in your account, you should be able to route the order for crypto. It's right here. So if you want to enable crypto in your account, because after you open the account, you still have to go to the help into your account management. So let's go here. It's already in crypto trading, but let's type in enable crypto. And so this article will explain where you need to go. So you basically sign into tastytrade.com, you go to My Accounts, Trading Preferences, and then click Enable, and then just go through some disclosures, and then that way you can get approved for crypto trading. Let's see. Can you trade T-bills or T-bonds? So once you have any bonds open, we do have to route that order for you. So you can email us or give us a call, and we can certainly route that trade for you. But it will appear in your platform the day after that it is purchased. So you just make sure the bonds filter is on, and it will show you all of those accordingly. Let's see. Where can I see margin usage detail? That is a great question. So if you go to your positions tab, you're going to notice under details and configuration, we have cap rec. So if you click on capital requirement, this will show you how much buying power each one of your positions is taking up. So at the moment, we're using 62% of the buying power for all the positions in this account. And then you can scroll through to see which one of these might be taking up too much, where you might need to reduce your position size or alleviate some buying power. So this account doesn't look too bad. The biggest one I see here is only on SPY, is using about 12.2%. But this capital requirement will show you exactly how much each one of your positions is taking up. How to change from margin account to non-margin. So we don't do any account conversions at this time. So if you're currently in a margin account, you can just simply open up a cash account. You can have both a margin and a cash account, and then just do an internal transfer, and then you can move your assets from one account to the other. Grid mode is right here. This just allows you to trade any stocks or futures while you're looking at the charts as well. And same thing as the Tasty charts, you can pop this out and then maybe drag this to another screen as well. So this will allow you to look at a chart, see the price action, and then route the order accordingly as well. Can we detach a chart view? Yes. So again, if you go back to this little 4 squares here, it will take you to Tasty charts. And then you can pop out this little menu by clicking on the icon here. And then this will bring it out to another chart where you can make it a 2x2, 1x2, and then you can have the chart on the secondary monitor while you're routing trades on the primary. And for any reason, if you need to contact us, if you want to buy those T-bills or you have any questions, or if you just want to contact us, you can go back to the Help Center, clicking on this little icon here. Type in contact us. Once you click on contact us, you will see our phone numbers. You'll see our emails down here. So feel free to reach out and any one of us can certainly help you through any questions you have. Are future prices delayed? No, as long as your account is funded, you should have real-time data. And one way to know if you have real-time data is in the bottom left corner, you should see quotes. As long as this is in green, you should have real-time data. Let's see. How do you open multiple charts? So same thing, if you're in the main chart tab, then you can only have one, but just click on the icon directly below that, the 4 squares, and this way you can have the Tasty charts up. You can have multiple charts all at once. There we go. Okay, but I think we can wrap it up here. Looks like I answered most of the questions, but I want to thank you everyone that took the time to register for the demo session today and for attending. I hope this was informative and will give you a jump start on navigating the platform. If you ever have questions about a specific feature or need additional help with using the platform, just feel free to reach out and give our support team or trade desk a call. Any one of us, we certainly won't mind walking you through the platform, or you can visit our help center and search for contact us again, and our phone number and emails is there. So again, we also have a charting demo next week. For anyone that wants to register, just search for live demo, click on the link, sign up there, and we'll see you next week, okay? But thank you again, and hope you all enjoy the rest of your night. Hope this was helpful. Take care, okay?